Hi. Bye. Hello. I just started a new job, so I'm kind of in a generative stage of my writing just because I don't have time to like constantly submit and revise. And so I'm going to read something that's the first rough draft. And I just started working in mental health as a psychiatric nurse, so a lot of my poems are interesting, to say the least. So this one's untitled. I wonder if insanity happens when one's rationale reaches the height of national rhetoric. Or is it what faith becomes when the embrace ferments to fanaticism, frantic in its blind fury? The tambourine rattle becomes the baby's cry, or the insidious buzz of a fluorescent bulb gone bad, until the flickering becomes some sort of in-service torture. And snap, snap, the office clerk jerks the stapler, gripping it as if chrome jaws have fangs. As the body convulses, every click shut is a hiss to release the possessed's wasted clasp. Every click is the pulse of her rasp. Jesus is the Son of God, rapping, Jesus is the Son of us, and we must all escape because the rooms are too small, like paper flowers folding in on the sense of self, of reality. But really, I wonder how insanity happens. But really, I wonder how the life folds in on itself, attempts to bend mind to the creases of a paper crane, attempt, misfold, attempt, and the mist folds until tangles of shadow lines box the self in, until direction merges and those looking in on those committed to call out to a hall of mirrors asking, where am I? And those looking in on those calling out answer with questions like, do you know where you are? Do you know who you are? Do you know why you're here? Do you hear voices? Do you hear? Yes, yours. Any others? Are you a danger to yourself and others? Are you a danger? Are you a danger? Are you you? And still, we wonder how insanity happens.
Our first open mic. Yes, and you're amazing. It doesn't seem like it's your first. Up next is another ice cream social veteran, and I just want to add that Jenny and our next ice cream or open micer are both in this beautiful book that comes out next month. So please welcome Allyson Whipple.
I'm still in MFA recovery, so I'm still just writing haiku. Although I also realized I think I can't write because my dog for the past year has refused to go on a walk. Because he got lost, and now he's like, I just don't go outside anymore. I don't leave. Won't leave the yard at all. And I'm apparently walking was super important to my creative process. So there's that. Anyway.
I'll walk with you.
Awesome. So I'll do 3 haiku, and as is custom, you read each haiku twice. Feral beehive, the earth filled with honey beneath our feet. Feral beehive, the earth filled with honey beneath our feet. Rosh Hashanah, darkness of the new moon, your last breath. Rosh Hashanah, darkness of the new moon, your last breath. I think of you. The great blue heron snaps a fish. I think of you. The great blue heron snags a fish.
I love the haikus. They're just so quick. Shared. Shared to like. Posting on Malvern's. Anyway. Oh my god. Restart.
The camera's still running, so it's all on film. Closing out our open mic today, we've got a new reader here, Clara.
Hello, my name's Clara. This is my first ice cream social, and I didn't think I'd be sharing something tonight, but I came across some Facebook posts that I made October 4th, 2015 in response to, I've already forgotten which mass shooting, and I think they're extremely topical. The punchline is that when I wrote this, and for a full year afterward, I fully believe myself to be a man. October 4th, 2015, 5:30 p.m. I refuse to believe that the toxic and violent ways we learn to be men are the inevitable consequences of testosterone poisoning. The question is, after taking away the violence and toxicity, what's left? What does livable masculinity even look like? 6:21 p.m. Listening to Strong in the Real Way by Rebecca Sugar and Ivy and Sarashu. I demand a masculinity that gives my life meaning not in my ability to impose my will on reality, but in the way I empower others through my relationships. That treasures the closeness that comes from shared experience without having to qualify it with no homo. That values my work in anonymous supporting roles just as strongly as my leadership work. That frames my sexuality not as some competition to score, but as a team effort between enthusiastic partners. It recognizes it's okay for me to crush on whoever the hell I want, but that also warns me against feeling entitled to a drop of someone else's attention just for existing. That offers me the full spectrum of emotional expression beyond anger and stoic indifference. That cries at the movies sometimes, that drinks a goddamn Shirley Temple when DDing and doesn't just get away with it by being too physically intimidating to make fun of. That lets me care about looking nice and doesn't make me wear trousers to work in Los Angeles in the summer because seriously. That prioritizes my ability to recognize the limits of my endurance over my ability to play hurt. That prioritizes the ability to recognize the limits of my knowledge over the ability to bluff and buster. That prioritizes the ability to recognize someone else's right answer right away over the ability to be the first one to come up with a plausible answer. That calls on my strength to help out where I see weakness, not because of some smarmy chivalry that infantilizes the recipient, not as some opportunity to take charge, because my own freedom is incomplete as long as it's contingent on my strength. It sounds like a pretty good start. 8:39 p.m. P.S. I'm pretty sure we already have a name for most of those traits. 10 letters, starts with F. It took me a year after writing those words